I'm Suraj Dassaw from the Nottingham offices of Poppleston Allen Licensing Solicitors. I'm here today to talk to you about premises licenses. And I want to talk to you about what they are, what they entitle you to do once you have one in place, and what are your obligations once you hold one of these licenses. What is a premises license? A premises license is granted by the local authority and it will allow you to carry out certain licensable activities at the premises. Those licensable activities may include the sale of alcohol for consumption on or off the premises, or both, late night refreshment, which is the sale of hot food and hot drinks between the hours of 11 PM and 5 AM in the morning, and a whole variety of entertainment which may be licensable, known as regulated entertainment. Who holds the license? A premises license can be held by an individual, a partnership or a company, or other organisations who can also apply for the licence. So what is the Designated Premises Supervisor, also known as the DPS? If your premises licence authorises the sale of alcohol, then you have to have an individual named on that licence who's in day-to-day control. That individual is called the Designated Premises Supervisor. To be able to be nominated as the DPS, you must have what's called a personal licence. This means you've sat a qualification and you've applied to the local authority, supplying them with a copy of that qualification and your DBS check. They will then issue you with a personal licence if your application has been successful and been granted. So what form does a premises licence take? A premises licence is printed on A4 paper. There is two parts to the licence. You have the premises licence itself, which will list the holder of the licence, the name of the Designated Premises Supervisor, the DPS. It will also list the licensable activities, the hours for those activities, the conditions of that licence, and there will be a licensing plan of the premises which attaches to the licence also. The second part effectively is a summary of the whole licence, which contains all the information of the full licence condensed with the exception of the conditions and the plan. It's the summary licence which you need to display in a prominent location in the premises, usually behind the bar. So do I have to do anything with the licence when I have it? Once you have the premises licence, you have to keep either the original or a certified copy at the premises. The summary part of the licence needs to be displayed in the public area of the premises. Next to the summary, you need to display a notice which names the individual at the premises who has responsibility for holding the full licence. What happens if I misplace the licence? If you lose your licence, or it's stolen, destroyed or misplaced, you do need to get another copy from the council. The fee is £10.50, and if it's been lost or misplaced, you need to get an incident number from the police and give that to the council also. What happens if the DPS leaves? If they do leave, you need to make an application immediately to the local authority to vary your licence to replace that person with a new Designated Premises Supervisor. And remember that the individual must hold a personal licence. There is a condition attached to your licence, a mandatory condition, that says that you cannot sell alcohol without a Designated Premises Supervisor. If you don't change the DPS and carry on trading, you're at risk of being fined up to an unlimited amount or 6 months imprisonment, or both. So you need to act quickly. What happens if the ownership of the premises changes? Well, if the ownership of the premises changes, an application needs to be made to the council to transfer that licence. Because remember, as the new owner, it's not your licence until it's been transferred to you, and you don't have authorisation to operate under it until that transfer takes effect. So to get the licence change, you'll need to get the original licence from the previous owner ideally, and you'll also need their signed consenting to the transfer of the licence to you as the new owner, and then you'd submit your transfer application. What are the rules relating to payment of annual fees? In terms of the rules relating to the payment of annual fees, once your licence has been granted, each year on the anniversary of the grant of the licence, you have to pay a fee to the council. If you don't pay that fee on time, your licence will be suspended. There's a grace period of 21 days before the suspension will kick in, and the council will notify you of the date your licence suspension will take effect. If you haven't paid by that date, then your licence is suspended by the council, and any trading after that date will be unlawful and could lead to prosecution. So what should I be looking out for with regard to taking over a licensed premises? Well, finally, I'd just like to give you a bit of advice on what you should look out for if you're looking to buy a premises that's licensed. Make sure before you buy that you get a copy of the current license and make sure that license is still in force. Do a check against the company, if it is a company who holds the license, to make sure that they're still operating. If it's an individual, make sure they haven't gone bankrupt. Otherwise, in either case, the license may have lapsed. Then you need to check, have all fees been paid to the council that are due, such as the annual fee. You could also contact the council to check if any complaints have been made in regards to the premises and no notices have been served, such as noise abatement notices. The next things to do are to check that the previous owner hasn't carried out any unauthorised work at the premises that might have put the licence in jeopardy. It's also important to review the licence itself. Does it authorise the activities that you want to carry out on the premises? Are you happy with the hours? And are you happy with the conditions? Ensuring there aren't any conditions that will be restrictive as to how you wish to operate. If you're not happy with the licence, you might need to make a change to that licence. And if that's the case, you'd want to speak to the authorities about the likelihood of those changes being granted after you've purchased the premises, and whether there will be any resistance from the authorities or local residents, for example. So in short, remember the premises license is a really important document. Make sure you review it regularly, make sure it's up to date, and that you keep up to date with the law. And most importantly, don't forget that the premises license does impact on the value of your business. So I hope you found that helpful. This has been Suraj Dassaw from Poppleston Allen Licensing Solicitors, talking about premises licenses. If you want any further information about premises licenses or licensing in general, then please contact us at our Nottingham or London offices or visit our website www.popall.co.uk. Thank you.